How's it going, everyone? My name is Jeremiah Flores. Today I'll be presenting a comparison of 5 major cybersecurity frameworks. I'll explain their similarities, differences, and their applications, while also showing how they can be applied specifically to Lopes manufacturing. Here's a roadmap for today's presentation. We'll begin with an introduction and definition of frameworks. Next, we'll review the access control process, then cover 5 major frameworks in detail. After that, we'll compare the frameworks in a side-by-side matrix. We'll then apply the frameworks to Lopes manufacturing, discuss how to achieve a high security posture, explore an ethical perspective on privacy versus security, and finally review the difference between frameworks and access control models. So what is a security framework? That's fine, I'll go over it. A security framework is a structured set of standards and best practices that organizations can follow to manage risk and compliance. Frameworks provide consistency and give teams across the organization a common language. They are different from regulations such as the HIPAA Act or the PCI Data Security Standard. While regulations are laws or mandatory rules, frameworks are methods for helping organizations meet those laws. Here at Lopes Manufacturing, our framework helps ensure compliance with defense industry requirements while protecting sensitive aerospace data. Access control is the process of ensuring that only authorized users are able to access specific information or systems. It involves 4 main steps. The first is identification, where a user claims an identity, such as entering a username or showing an ID badge. Second is authentication, where identity is verified through something like a password, fingerprint, or a token. Third is authorization, where specific access rights are assigned, usually based on a person's role and the principle of least privilege. The final one is accountability, where actions are logged and monitored for auditing. Together, these steps ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information such as controlled defense data here at Lopes Manufacturing. The first framework that we'll be going over is the NIST Cybersecurity Framework, or otherwise known as the National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Framework. It is designed to help organizations manage cyber risk. It is organized into 5 core functions: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. This framework is widely used in defense, healthcare, and manufacturing sectors. Its main advantage is flexibility, since organizations can adapt to their needs. A limitation is that it is not a certifiable framework and provides less technical data. Here at Lopes Manufacturing, this framework is especially useful for supporting compliance with DoD contract requirements, protecting controlled defense information, and securing manufacturing systems such as computer numerical control machines. The next framework is the ISO framework, or otherwise known as the International Organization for Standardization 27001 framework. It is a global standard for building an information security management system. It follows a continuous improvement cycle known as plan, do, check. This framework is often used in industries such as finance, healthcare, and global manufacturing. Its advantages include the ability to achieve formal certification and strong international recognition. Its disadvantages are the high cost it brings, the need for significant resources, and the heavy auditing processes to follow. Here at Lopes Manufacturing, this framework could provide additional credibility in international supply chains and strengthen relationships with overseas vendors and partners. The FAIR framework, or otherwise known as the Factor Analysis of Information Risk Framework, is unique because it quantifies cyber risk in financial terms. It uses metrics such as the single loss expectancy, annual rate of occurrence, and annualized loss expectancy to calculate risk in terms of potential financial loss. This makes it valuable in industries such as banking and insurance. Its advantage is that it translates technical risk into business-level financial impact, which executives can easily understand. Its disadvantages is that it requires mature and accurate data, and the modeling can be complex as well. Here at Lopes Manufacturing, this framework can be applied to weigh the financial cost of a ransomware attack compared to the investment required for strong security controls such as endpoint detection and network segmentation. The CIS controls, or otherwise known as the Center for Internet Security Controls, consist of 18 prioritized security actions that provide organizations with a practical checklist for defense. They include actions such as inventorying assets, ensuring secure configuration, applying patches, and monitoring logs. These controls are often used by small to medium businesses, hospitals, and technical information technology teams. Their strength is that they are clear, actionable, and easy to follow. The weaknesses that come with it, though, is that they are somewhat narrow in scope and do not provide strong governance or compliance guidance. Here at Lopes Manufacturing, the controls give the technology and manufacturing teams a direct to-do list of technical safeguards to protect both office systems and manufacturing systems. The final framework is the COBIT framework, or otherwise known as the Control Objectives for Information and Related Technologies framework. It is focused on governance and management of information technology. Its purpose is to align technology with business goals, ensure compliance, and support audit processes. It is most often used by large enterprises, financial services, and organizations that are subject to frequent audits. Its advantage is strong governance and board-level alignment, while its disadvantages is that it does not provide detailed technical controls. Here at Lopes Manufacturing, though, this framework helps make sure information technology operations align with executive priorities and meet DoD audit requirements. In our comparison matrix, we show the unique strengths of each framework. In the NIST framework is flexible and widely used, but not certifiable. The ISO standardization framework provides global certification, but is resource intensified. The factor analysis of information risk framework translates risk into financial terms, but is complex. The Center for Internet Security Controls are practical but limited in scope. And finally, the COBIT framework provides strong governance but less technical guidance. Lopes Manufacturing benefits from using all these multiple frameworks together. For managing network and communication infrastructure, the most appropriate framework is the National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Framework, or the NIST framework for short. This is because it balances flexibility with compliance and works across both traditional information technologies and operational technology environments. This includes enterprise systems such as resource planning software, as well as factory floor systems such as computer numerical control machines and supervisory control systems. It aligns with DoD contractor requirements and fits Lopes Manufacturing's culture of precision, safety, and reliability. To achieve a high level of security, Lopes Manufacturing should combine frameworks, such as the ISO framework, which provides a certification globally and credible with suppliers globally as well. The NIST framework provides compliance with a structure for both information technology and operational technology. The FAIR framework translates risk into financial terms to help executives make investment decisions. The SIS controls provide day-to-day technical safeguards. Finally, the COBIT framework ensures governance and audit alignment with DoD contracts. Next, we'll review the ethical standpoint on privacy versus security. Privacy protects individual rights, while security presents an organizational responsibility. An example is here at Lopes Manufacturing. Protecting employee personal data and health records may need to come before applying broad monitoring systems that can invade privacy. From a Christian worldview, privacy aligns with human dignity, stewardship of sensitive information, and the principle of loving one's neighbor by respecting their rights. Frameworks and access control models serve different but complementary purposes. Frameworks provide the governance overall, compliance structure, and risk strategy. Access control models, on the other hand, provide enforcement mechanisms such as role-based, attribute-based, mandatory, or discretionary controls. In this diagram, as you can see how both frameworks and access control models connect to the central goal of protecting information systems. Frameworks define what needs to be protected and why, while access control models determine how that protection is applied. Together, they ensure that sensitive information at Lopes Manufacturing is only accessed by properly cleared and authorized personnel. In closing, cybersecurity frameworks are essential because they are providing organizations with structured guidance for managing risk, compliance, and governance. By comparing 5 major frameworks, we can see from each one brings unique strengths, from the flexibility of the NIST framework to the international recognition of the ISO framework to the financial clarity of the FAIR framework to the practicality of the SIS controls, and finally the governance strength of the COBIT related technologies. For lopes manufacturing, a blended approach is the best solution. Using multiple frameworks together shows the company to stay compliant with defense regulations, protecting both business and manufacturing systems, and strengthen trust with partners. More importantly, frameworks and access control models must work together. One provides strategy and the other provides enforcement. When applied thoughtfully, they ensure that sensitive data remains secure, privacy is respected, and the organization can continue mission and confidence. Thank you for attending my presentation. Have a great day.